right under us, Jim. He's going to go back north.
Oh my God.
Sorry, south. He's going to go south, Jim, if we can exit again. Right under us here in a second.
This is not going to be a long chase. We have a Katy Perry challenge to start this off tonight, people. They're at the LAX tunnel, right next to the 105 interchange. Katy Perry challenge has already began with sparks flying from the vehicle. Looks like a silver Dodge Charger to me. There's potential that this chase is going to end in the tunnel at LAX. You can tell with all the airplanes there, obviously. It's that tunnel that connects essentially the 105. There it is. Look at the look. There's sparks that were flying out of the front right on this thing, people.
West, Jim.
That might. Okay, this might be 105 westbound. Night sun overhead. Night sun overhead. 105 westbound. This 105 westbound is going to end almost immediately. I don't know what we're doing here. This could be a 105 eastbound interchange. Gil Levis on the call, KTLA.
Onto the 105 freeway here, which would be, I believe that's going to be eastbound here.
Okay, eastbound. Turning around, going eastbound, so this freeway will not end, but we are dragging. It's a silver Dodge Charger. We are dragging the bumper, and the front right is down. It was going all sorts of sparks going into the tunnel there. Wow, look at this. This is the 105 East right at LAX. Not a single car on the road on the interchange. Night sun overhead blasting this Dodge Charger.
Yeah, we were seeing sparks coming off that rim just a short time ago as it was...
Boogity!
Horseshoe. But we
Let's go chasing. It's a 10:55 p.m. Pacific time. It's prime time for chasing here in Los Angeles. Downey is very much in play if we continue the 105 eastbound all the way through Inglewood. LAX airspace obviously in play here.
It went into that LAX area for a while, went into that parking structure, then came out.
105 eastbound plus 605 northbound equals Downey. All roads lead to Downey.
Back out onto Sepulveda Boulevard southbound. And here we are on just off on Imperial Highway, and more sparks coming off that.
This person, here we go. Katy Perry challenge. Katy Perry challenge in effect on the front right as we are about to ignite. This is an armed suspect. Armed suspect. Oh, huge flash there. Huge flash from the front right.
And it's going to continue towards the 405 freeway. We don't know how much longer this vehicle can go with a condition like that. We've seen vehicles in the past.
Oh, we're down. Oh my God. We're down. The rubber's off. We're dragging the whole frame. We have the whole frame grinding on the 105 eastbound right now. That's not even the axle. That's not even the axle. The axle is so far down that it's changed the complete aerodynamics of the front of the Dodge Charger. And now we're just grinding away on the entire frame of the vehicle.
We do.
That gas tank is real close to those sparks, people. If we overheat and get in there, we could go kaboom.
He was on that upper level, and the vehicle went by Tom.
We've seen infernos ignite on the freeway before.
Do a pit maneuver on that part of the LAX horseshoe. There wasn't a whole lot of traffic though at that hour, or just a little while ago. So that's probably why they were trying to do that, to bring it to an end.
It's going to be real tough to pit a vehicle without a tire on it. But as long as he stays on the freeway here, doesn't go on the side streets, he's just going to keep the momentum going. But the sparks are getting worse and worse. Look at these vehicles. These cruisers in pursuit are now in the lanes 3 and 4 of the 105 eastbound, trying to stay away from this massive blanket of sparks that continues to spew out of the back of this Dodge Charger. Gil, we really need you to keep this connection together. Okay, now we're adding some graphics here. Probably going to go live in 2 minutes on KTLA as the 11 o'clock news is about to begin here in Los Angeles. Picking up speed now up to 65 miles an hour, 105 eastbound, headed through Inglewood, in Compton, in Gardena. We're eventually going to hit a 605 interchange, which will take us up to Downey Norwalk. Multiple opportunities to get off the freeway here. Oh my God, look at the angle of that Dodge Charger just bending into the 105. Listing almost, like a boat that's taking on water. Of course, there's no cars. Every time there's a police chase, it's you guys. LA is not known for its traffic, right? Every freeway is just completely wide open. Unbelievable. Yeah, Downey is quite a distance away. I don't know how far this Katy Perry challenge will go until the
That's
vehicle
right,
just
Mike. And Gordon,
incinerates.
it
1
didn't
minute
appear
away
to me
from
that
this
the
going to
front tire
TV.
was
1
missing
minute
when
away
it
from the
came
11
to the
o'clock news.
parking structure, but
I got to
definitely when it
imagine
came
Desmond
out
Shaw and Eliana
off
Moreno
the
are probably
parking
en route
structure
with Chris
and
Christie.
back out on the surface streets,
But
it was
KTLA is
definitely
going to lead us off.
sparking like this. So something happened there between the time it went in that parking structure and came back out. But you can
This
see
is going to be a
as they come in
forced.
tight, you'll
Hold
look
on.
at what's
Oh my
grinding
God!
there.
Look how hot the
Asphalt
axle
here on
is.
the
Look how
105
hot the
freeway
axle is. It's
the hub
bright
there.
red.
And LA,
Oh
the
my
California
God! This is
agriculture
bad.
state, they're keeping their distance due to the sparks that are coming off of that, the debris that's coming off of that. They don't want their cars being disabled. From
Add a
anything
star
that come
here
off
because of the
vehicle
want
there.
and
But
because of the
again,
danger.
dangerous pursuit here. Nonetheless, it's continuing eastbound on the 105 freeway towards the 110 freeway. And we'll see the speeds here about 65.
110 will be his
miles an hour
first
past the truck.
opportunity. He'll have the
And, so far,
405,
the
which is
drivers are able to
probably
control
past at
that
this point.
vehicle.
The 405, the 110, and then the 605, which is our Downey Norwalk option. The 110 could also technically take us there, just require a few extra turns. Watching from Cabo. Oh my God! Look at the axle. The axle's breaking apart. It's not even rotating. Look at all the shrapnel. Look at the shrapnel spewing from it right now. It's just grinding off, man. It's like sandpaper. It's bright pink, and if that axle comes off, the full front right, that fender is just gonna tilt into the asphalt.
We did not see it come out of the parking structure, but we did see it coming out of that lower level.
11 p.m. 11 p.m. Pacific time. Here we go. You're going to start to see your television graphics. Every news channel in Los Angeles is going to be picking this up. You can't go to bed until at least 11:30 p.m. Pacific time here in Los Angeles. The sparks are starting to get more and more copious. I am worried about a kaboom. I am worried. And look at that back tire. Look at that back tire. It's just eating all of those sparks. And now we're headed towards heavy traffic. Oh no.
The 110 freeway, getting a look out the window to see what's ahead and what's causing this. There might be an accident up ahead.
Oh, get out of the HOV lane. Thank God they have the red and blues engaged so that people can try and get to the other side of the road. Airship overhead, too, with the night sun blasting. That looks like either Sheriff's Department. I can't tell based on the colors. Green and yellow would be Sheriff's Department. Blue and white would be CHP. I don't know which jurisdiction it is that picked it up, but we are just... That's not an HOV lane either. No, yes, it is. There's the diamond. Okay. They usually have the double white lines there to separate it. Now we're back into normal traffic, maybe potentially getting off. I know. How is this still going? Oh, potential pit maneuver. How low is that helicopter? Oh, now we're getting all the way across the freeway right now, probably getting off. This looks like an exit. It's going to be real tough to pit, especially around all the... Oh, a pit? Oh, no way we pit on the freeway, right? There's no way we pit on the freeway. Not with all of these innocent drivers around. Oh, my God. This is an armed suspect, too, people. Not getting off. Not getting off. We get off. There's the spearhead right there. Back on the eastbound 105. No, that's 105, not 110, Gil. Potentially armed with a rifle, yes. Viewer discretion advised on this one. Very dangerous.
Acting like maybe he wants to do a pit maneuver here, but the speeds might
We are
be
105 eastbound.
65 miles an hour that we're tracking it. So at this point, we have a driver and what looks like a passenger. I'm going to come back in tight here so you can get a closer look if you can tell. But look at it's gonna just dangling there, pieces. Just
it's hanging like a thumbnail in the sparks. Oh my God, how many more sparks? He's about to lose the axle. He's about to lose the axle. It's about to come off. Look at this shit. You don't even need the night sun.
Yeah, we've seen even a big rig tractor that actually did this one time, and it caused the truck to burn to the ground. That was on the 5 freeway coming down the Grapevine. But, you know, at this point, it doesn't look like there's enough there to cause this car to start on fire at this point. But You don't know.
How do you, yeah, how do you know that? How do you know that?
Here's a look at what's going on the freeway. In the meantime, you see the CHP not directly behind it because of all that debris coming off. And cars on the freeway, fortunately, not a whole lot of traffic ahead of this vehicle. And looking up towards the
Oh my
710
God, look
freeway,
at this, man.
it looks like it's the
This is
same
so
condition on the
dangerous.
freeway.
And
So
there's
that's good
traffic
news.
too.
Not a whole lot
That
of
was
cars
probably a
going,
405
that are,
interchange. That's why all
getting
that
up on
traffic
this,
was there, and there's construction. You can see with the cones on the freeway.
But at this point, the CHP staying behind it, I am counting about 5 or 6 units of the CHP. I'll come out to a wide shot so you get a better idea of what is following and what's overhead. It looks like 6 units there in the pursuit, and you can see that spark, the spark coming off this vehicle pretty badly here. So it could at any point catch fire.
Anytime. I mean, it could just explode. We've seen cars incinerate almost instantly out of nowhere during a Katy Perry challenge. How long is this going to keep going on for? Oh my God, we're bumping. You see this? We're rocking back and forth now. The the aerodynamics of the front are completely out of whack. This looks like an exit. Oh my God, look at the sparks. It's spewing lava from the front. I don't know. There's still tires intact on the front left and the left side, but that back right just ate an entire freeway's worth of sparks. They're definitely going to try and pit here, by the way. This has pit maneuver written all over it. Look how open he is. Here comes a pit. Here comes a pit. He better make a left-hand turn to avoid it. And he does. The pit was lined up for the right back quarter panel. You could still get him here, though. Watch. They'll do it right under an overpass. Guaranteed. It'll be right on. What did I just fucking say? There's the overpass. Better make it out. Better make it out to the other side. Here's a pit maneuver. They went for it. Ripped more of the bumper off. Just ripped more of the bumper off. Got that cage into the bumper. Looks like we're getting back on the freeway now.
One time on the off ramp there, and now again here. Now we're on Imperial Highway now, eastbound from Willowbrook, and you can see.
Oh, Imperial Highway. Okay.
It's unbelievable.
Not the 105.
Maintain control. Here comes another possible pit. We'll see what's up ahead for
God,
the CHP.
for them to pit, they have to eat all of those sparks, and that's a pit certified unit there. You can tell by the cage in the front. If he can hook that cage into the back left quarter panel, and then you drive right through. Now we're getting smoke from the left and the right. Oh my God! Now this is going to be ejectocito territory.
You would think.
Hitting the gas. Look how hard we're hitting the gas on that. He's trying to ejectocito so badly. Get that pursuit tree out of the way. Get that pursuit tree open. Oh my God! Clown car! Clown car! Clown car! There's 9 people in that car. How are there so many clowns?
We're going to stick with the driver.
How are there so many clowns in one car? How many clowns can you fit in a clown car? There had to be 9 people in there.
The driver running behind.
It's like cockroaches under a spotlight. They're going after the driver.
And he's going to give up. That's it. He made it.
He's going to get speared. Oh!
They're going to take him down right there. At least 3
Wrecked.
other suspects that jumped out of the vehicle and took off running in different directions. We stuck with the driver. Driver in custody at this point. But we'll come back out to the vehicle.
What do you think they said in the car? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Everyone for themselves.
And at this point, the other ones have scattered in through these apartment complexes here.
They got the driver. At the very least, we got the driver. Good luck catching those 9 other cockroaches that went all in opposite directions under the night sun. Hell in a cell. This guy's working hard. Clearing the vehicle. Let everyone else go chase those guys on foot. Car's smoking, by the way.
Yes.
I'll clear the vehicle, guys. I'll contribute to the group project. Oh, we're running. Why are we running? Huh? I think they got people on the street that are helping direct them to potential hiding spot.
It sounds like they're still outstanding. A lot of officers on the ground with flashlights. Here's the driver being walked back to the CHP units and back to the pursuit vehicle. I'll come out wider to show you that scene there. There's the vehicle. It was smoking here just a minute ago. Let's see if it's still, yeah, it's still smoking quite a bit there from the tire that is now missing. And one in custody, at least 3 outstanding, and the CHP trying to search for those other 3 that took off running.
How many people? Oh, Jesus. Who are these people on the streets? Gorman Avenue and 15. So that means we're like southwest central.
I agree. Usually that's where they bail out and scatter in a place where there's a lot of people. And but on this one we didn't see that. We thought maybe that was happening because we lost the vehicle for a while, and then all of a sudden there it was coming back out on the bottom level of the LAX loop.
Dylan says they're right in the middle of Watts. Yeah, that's not an area that I frequent myself. Yeah, I saw the ambulance chase
Awesome, good catch.
on the pit. Ben in the chat says, if I was one of those cockroaches, I would hide and then come out like a bystander, hide in plain sight. Sharp. Very sharp. Still waiting. We're not code 4. We still have some outstanding suspects here. But the good news is the chase itself has come to a stop. And no shots fired. Allegedly stolen, allegedly armed. Clown car with God knows how many people in there. That is a lot of red and blues. My goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4 plus. There looked about 7 or 8 on the street. 4 others locking down the other side of the road. So that's 8, 15 total units. Officers just sprawled everywhere.
I'm sorry, can you repeat? Okay, copy that.
It's not the same. From Gil, I'm sorry. It's not. It's no copy. Copy.
I'd like to thank you for watching us on the web. This is Gil Davis up in Sky 5. You're looking at the termination point of this pursuit, 115th Street at Gorman Avenue in South LA. You can see that SUV that was being chased by first of all, by the Southgate PD, and then the CHP took it over once it got on the freeway. It was wanted for brandishing the driver or passengers in the vehicle was wanted.
Hold on, I'll respond to that comment in just a second. Listen to Gil, brandishing a weapon.
And the pursuit continued all the way towards LAX, went into the horseshoe of LAX, went into a parking structure, came back out away from LAX onto the 105 freeway. By then, the front passenger tire was missing, and there was a ton of sparks coming off of that rim, which pretty much just came apart on the freeway as they were driving. They did exit here at Willowbrook and got onto Imperial Highway where they turned into this public housing area. And then about the driver and 4 other passengers bailed out and ran different directions. Here's the driver. We stuck with the driver, and they got him a couple of buildings away.
Dude, look how many officers that is.
Gave up and they tackled him, got him into custody. They're still looking for at least 3, possibly 4 other suspects that were in the vehicle. So the dangerous and dramatic pursuit here.
There's got to be like 50 officers there.
Into LAX and then back
now we're starting to get people on the street. We got upset people on the street.
With 1 in custody.
Uh-oh, look at the bottom right corner. Uh-oh, we got people barking at the police. Probably woke their ass up. That guy was pissed. And then he pulled out his phone. Oh, sorry. I was covering the bottom right corner. There was a really pissed off guy yelling at the cops. You missed it. Sorry, that was my fault. Okay, so there was a comment here about it's from Monk Punk. This was my jury duty case, and I used Skywob to get out. I actually did use Skywob to get out of jury duty. When I got called for it in New York, I got selected in the first round of like lottery numbers, and I was one of the first 12 people to be interviewed for like a murder case too. This would have been like a 3-month case. And I'm like, oh my God. So then I stand up and the judge asks the same set of questions to each potential jurors they're being interviewed. They ask for your name, your date of birth, and then they eventually ask what you do for a living. And I told them that I cover police chases because I knew that answer was true. I'm not lying. And number two, I knew that that would disqualify me from being an eligible juror. That I cover police chases in Los Angeles, and I offer analysis and coverage. Thank you very much. Immediately, go home. And I got off. I didn't even get sent back to the...
Well, it appears that 3 or 4 suspects are still outstanding here. As
Wow, 3 or 4 still outstanding.
LAPD and Southgate PD search for those suspects that ran from this pursuit vehicle, ended here at 115th and Gorman. Dangerous pursuit, the driver losing the front tire when it went into the LAX parking lot near Tom Bradley International, and then came back out, ending here with a lot of sparks kicking up along the freeway, the car pulling off into this public housing area. The driver in custody, 3 or 4 outstanding still, but at this point, that search is going to be continuing for the next short time here. But again, we're going to conclude our coverage here of this pursuit.
Oh, no.
Thank you for joining us on the web. This is Gil Lavis up in Sky 5 signing off.
I'm going to check in on... Eliana's up in the air, so give me a second. I'm going to switch it over. But let me just finish telling my jury duty story real quick, because I stood up. This judge in particular... Hold on. Why don't I find the police chase? Why don't I put on the police chase first, and then I can tell the story. Let's see if Eliana's still over it. Give me a second. Copy. Maybe we'll get some additional coverage if Eliana's not over it. Let me check. Desmond Shaw's over it too. Okay, Cal. My God, this shit takes forever when you're running OBS, man. Come on. Load. Okay.
The wife.
NBC is no longer covering it. Let me check KCAL. CBS. I mean, the chase is over. I don't blame him. I just thought Eliana was so late that she might have hung around a little later just to get the report. You feel me? Let's see if CBS has any.
Opportunity for us to lean in and provide support. Partnership through Magic helps us to come together and try to build a better.
Unfortunately, KCAL is not over it as well, so that is going to be the end of the coverage tonight, but I'm going to keep telling my story, if you wouldn't be so kind. Okay, so jury duty. This was, let's see, when I was living in New York. And this judge, gosh, what was her name? I used to remember it. She was like not having anyone's bullshit, because all the jurors, they get put into the courtroom. There's a couple hundred of you. And she comes and sits down and she says, I have some unfortunate news for you all. This is not going to be a civil case. This is going to be a criminal case, and it does involve a murder. We do anticipate that This trial is going to last between 1 to 2 months. It could potentially stretch into 3. So if you get selected, you're going to need to plan for that for work, and you could collectively hear the entire room go, "Oh my God! Like, how did we draw the short end of the stick?" Usually, most of the cases with jury duty are civic, and you can get that. You can knock it out in like one day. So then they begin the process of selecting the lottery, and oh, you guys want me to wait? People are if you can still hear me right now, it's because you are signed up for the channel with a subscription of some kind. Everyone else just got hit with ads, and you understand the importance of, if you're still able to see this video, why? Because if we were doing a chase, they would be stuck in commercials and you would be watching it. So put it in the chat if you're able to still hear me. Some people can, some people can't, because they haven't figured out how to ad block or haven't connected their Amazon Prime account. So, oh, who dropped some sub dubs in the chat? Let's see. Barone81. Okay. I'm delaying a couple of seconds because I'm going to finish my story once I can see the ad break right now. They're in ad 6 of 8. So they have about 45 seconds left. You see the chat? Just give it a second. We'll come back. 8 ads. They're only 15 seconds each. This is premium content, okay? Plenty of places you can go watch ad-free police chasing, but you don't get WAB. You gotta pay extra for WAB. You gotta pay the toll. You gotta sit through some ads. Yes, college basketball has so many ads. Okay, we're back. So, for those of you that aren't subscribed to the channel, I'm granting you a little bit of grace, and I waited to continue my story until you guys exited the break. You can always connect your Amazon Prime account and solve that problem, but who am I to suggest that? Okay, so back to the story. So there's got to be a couple hundred people in the courtroom, and the judge informs us this is a criminal case. It is not a civic suit, and we do anticipate this could take between 1 and 3 months, and if you are selected, you will need to inform your employer that you're going to be stuck with us for that amount of time. Sorry, but that's just the law. And people are like, oh my God. So then you begin the process of, if there's anyone that has a reason why they can't be here, please raise your hand and the judge will hear you now. And you have to stand up in front of like 1,000 people and explain yourself. So now there's some obvious ones. Like someone was pregnant. She's like, I'm about to give birth. And the judge was like, okay, goodbye. Like, okay, you got it. But then some were like, I have to travel to another country for work. And this judge in particular was like, big whoop. Other people got shit going on too. Sit down. Not excused. Next. And then she let, I'd say, between 10 and 15% with either serious health issues or, caretaker to someone that's on their deathbed or in hospice. Those were the only ways that she made excuses. So I'm like, all right, we'll see how this goes. Now think of the math on this. Since there was 12 jurors, 11 jurors, or plus one alternate, that you want to have your lottery ball selected last, because that means they went through the entire room of candidates to fill those 12 seats, and you may not even be needed. You may not even need to be interviewed. So in the first batch where they're pulling the numbers out of the equivalent of like the frozen envelope container, I'm like number 6. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I'm like, but I got this. I'm prepared. I know exactly what to do. And this judge, since she was such a don't bullshit me judge, because I've done this 1,000 times, and if you try and come up with some shit, I'm gonna make sure that you get selected. So she goes down the line. Everyone stands up, states their name, states whatever the requirements were, and then once again they ask, what do you do for a living? And I said, I cover police chases, and there were some locusts in the fucking courtroom. I could hear them giggling, and they're like, "Birds in the air! Quiet, quiet! Order in the court! Birds in the air!" There's like one or two, or maybe three. And I was like, I cover police chases, Los Angeles. And so she's like, you deal with law enforcement on a daily basis? I'm like, no, but I just provide some commentary and critique, and I stream it online. And she was like, sit down. She was like, sit down, because I know you're not being selected. I'm not wasting my time with you. And then you find out they sequester you to another room, and they announce, of the 12 candidates that were just interviewed, if any of you are going to be retained and put onto the jury. And I think all 12 of us in the first batch, it was a no for each of us. So like, you're free to go. Now, if you were someone who tried to get out of jury duty with an excuse, you know how I said she was the equivalent of like, no, sit down? If she caught you bullshitting, you know what she did? She goes, oh, okay. Send them back to, there was like this headquarters where you waited before you drew like which courtroom you were going to be put into. You get sent back to the equivalent of like the first level, and they put you back into the system, which is a whole nother day of sitting and waiting and figuring out another courtroom that will hear you, because those other courtrooms are like civic trials, and you can knock those out in a full day. She wouldn't let you go home. She would make you like restart the video game practically. It was a wild day, but by me standing up there and just being honest, I was like, yeah, I cover police chases. I knew in a heartbeat that no lawyer was ever going to agree to have the police chase guy, because there's an assumption that that guy is probably pro-law enforcement, pro-police, right? I didn't say anything that was a lie, but I made it very clear that, yes, I deal with law enforcement every day of my career, and that's how I'm compensated. And she was like, all right, whatever, sit down. And then she excused me fully, and I got to go home that same day. That same day. Everyone else was stuck in there for like 4 days total, because you have to sit in there, wait for your number to be called between 9 a.m. and let's say like 11:30. Then from 11:30 to 12:30 is lunch. Then you come back in at 12:30, and you just wait for these officers to keep pulling numbers out. There's an interview for each of the people in the room, and you're just sitting there listening to the same questions being asked over and over again, while the criminal or the suspect is sitting there, with the lawyers, and they're taking notes on each juror, because they have to agree on which jurors are going to be used. So that's that. That's the story. Yeah, I don't know, by the way, I don't know who that, obviously, Ranger, that wasn't you, right? Somebody created a YouTube channel, and it's Wobb's Police Chase Birds in the Air VODs, or whatever the handle is. They went and downloaded every single police chase and uploaded it to that YouTube channel, the one that I retweeted on the Birds in the Air or Skywob Alerts feed right here on Twitter. There's a link with every chase on it. I couldn't believe it. That's so much work. That is so many gigs of space on your computer. That person, you are a hero if you're watching this. If whoever you are, reach out to me or something. Like, thank you. Yeah, see, it definitely gets a t-shirt. I don't know who you are if you're watching this, but maybe it's better that you're an anonymous angel. Someone who's just for the love of the game. You can remain anonymous. You don't have to reveal yourself, but if you want to, I'm here. It could be a queen too, yeah. Community's still going strong. I just said those videos are going to get deleted because I just don't have the time to download like hundreds of videos, and I don't have the space in even my MacBook Pro can't handle all that. It's one of the locusts from the jury team, probably. Yeah, 219 vids. He did it in 2 weeks. That's the time it takes to upload each of those because they're like an hour and a half sometimes. That's not just click upload one at a time and you mass like no, you gotta upload wait. Even if you have the fastest internet speed in the world, you gotta wait for it to process and anything else before we go? I certainly appreciate you. I believe you that you watched all 219 live. Guess what? So did I. So did I. How many chases do you think we've done since 2015? Because I started doing them on Periscope in 20. It's been I'm coming up on or we're just past the 10-year anniversary. I've been doing police chasing for more than 10 years now. Wow. Did I watch Luca tonight? No, not at all. What else? What do you think I'm doing with my life? I sit here and I watch police chases and basketball, and I occasionally play tennis. Oh, speaking of new merch, there is. I have the designs for the new T-shirts. There's going to be an Asphalt Angels shirt. There's going to be the names of all the helicopter aerial journalists. Another shirt, and then there's going to be Chases Breed Chases CBC shirt. Anniversary recap of the Great Compton Chase. Yeah, you know what? I might have to go back and watch that from start to finish because I mean, I know how it ends, but man, there was so much shit that happened that day. He was standing up in the convertible on the freeway, ass backwards, facing the cops, driving the car standing up. And then he gets back to Compton where there's like thousands of people in the street that he drives into. They absorb him, and then he just blends in and they say, you know what? Godspeed. Good luck. And I'm pretty sure he got away. Crazy chase. The Great Compton Chase of 2016 will never be forgotten. The Secret Tunnel Chase. Remember the Secret Tunnel Chase? Oh my God, that was like 2018, I think. The COVID Classic. The COVID Classic. So many of these, man. So many of these named chases. Bethamphetamine. The one where the one where they did a halftime interview during the chase in Charlotte. So many, man. Yeah, for us to go back and watch all of these chases, there needs to be another pandemic. I'm kind of rooting against that. I'd say Treroy Jenkins is the Great Compton Chase of 2016, or Treroy Jenkins is probably the number one chase of all time, other than OJ, obviously. Those are the two, Treroy Jenkins and Great Compton Chase. Oh, the Charlotte Chase. I forgot there was multiple carjackings in that one too. That one was close to a top 10. Someone in the chat said the one where the wig flew off while running towards a Denny's, that was Treroy Jenkins. He froggered across the entire freeway. All right. Well, I'm going to sign off. I got some work to do. Got to prepare for tomorrow's show. This was fun. Hope you guys enjoyed. It's always nice chatting with you. Where have you guys been, by the way? You show up to this stream, but I'm doing streams during the day as well that you guys could. It's only with the community. It's Q&A back and forth. I do them 3:15 Pacific time on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. I know it's easier sometimes to do it after work and while you're getting ready for bed, and late night streams are mostly easier for people that are online because you're working during the day. I get that. But I'm available. I'm available at times other than police chasing, for the record. No, it's on Twitter. It's on Twitter. It's on my main Twitter account. Mr. Romo says, or M. Romo, I think it's because Twitch is very easy to access compared to your other places. Twitter now is pretty easy. You can do picture in picture. It's okay. You're welcome. You're welcome back to the next stream, even though we have our differences. Yeah, I gotta pin the new YouTube channel with all the VODs on it. If you're out there and you're watching this, can you also download all the radio roulettes too? That are on the Twitch channel from like 2020, 2021. They're still on there. They're gonna get deleted in a couple of days. If you're watching this and you had the ability to do it, just throw the radio roulettes on there too. They deleted the ones on Twitter. I can't access them, so that's the last of the archives. There you go. It's always jokes around here, regardless, even if I yell at you. Is this a stain? You guys seeing this shit? It is a stain. Why is that so? Why do I have an armpit stain? I'm not sweating. Gross. I don't wear this shirt to play tennis, though. How did I get the... Maybe it's just bad lighting. Okay. That's a good time to say goodbye. I'll see you guys on the timeline. Deuces.